On today's show, we look into one road that affects our school and its upcoming construction. And we look into girls soccer improvement from last year and how they plan to prepare for playoffs. These story and more on this edition of Hilltop News. What's rockin' Rock Nation, and welcome back to another episode of Hilltop News. Live from Studio 1060, I'm Bronwyn Liber.
And I'm Ashley Sallaway.
Today is Worldwide Down Syndrome Day. We hope you all are joining us in wearing mismatched socks to celebrate and raise awareness for this day. Now you may be asking, why March 21st? Well, that is because Down syndrome is 3 copies of the 21st chromosome. Now we have a great show in store for y'all today, but first Ashley is going to catch you up on everything going around the Hill. Ashley?
Thank you, Bronwyn. Prom is just over 1 month away, and it's time to buy your tickets. Ticket sales open this Wednesday and will close April 30th or whenever all the tickets are sold. Prom King and Queen nominations will open April 11th and close April 15th, and elections will be held April 28th. Something new the prom committee has added this year is a promposal contest, which will run April 4th until May 1st, and the best promposal will receive a prize at prom. A picture or video will be needed in order to enter to win. Snack Attack is back. You may remember that we were supposed to have our second Snack Attack of the year on the 3rd, but due to the lack of donations, it got postponed. However, it was rescheduled to April 1st. Donations are still very much welcome, and they can be dropped off in the front office. This past week, theater traveled out to Denison to perform their one-act play, The Sweet Science of Bruising, in district-level competition. While they were there, theater won many individual awards, with Margaret Garzadisi, Lyric Patino, and Taylor Bedford placing honorable mention All-Star Cast, Audra Rogers and Ella Dellenbach being named to the All-Star Cast, and McKenna Bowman being named All-Star Technician, as well as Rock Hill's Sweet Science of Bruising play has advanced, and they will be competing in the by-districts this week. There are many events happening on the Hill this week, so here is a list of everything that's going on. Now for some other news. On March 7th, Governor Greg Abbott directed the launch of the TEA Teacher Task Force in hopes of helping school districts with teacher shortages. However, after only 2 current teachers were admitted, the state faced media backlashing against the task force. Since more invitations have been sent out, Prosper ISD's very own District Director of Human Resources was admitted onto this force.
Teachers are one of the most undervalued professions in society today, but it should be one of the most valued because teachers create every single profession out there. And my cup was always filled when I was a teacher, and I just want every single teacher, no matter where they're teaching and what they're teaching, to feel that same way.
We are so glad to have someone from our very own district represent our school, teachers, and hopefully make a difference in all of Texas classrooms. A week ago, we sprang forward to daylight savings times, and this could be a permanent change. The Senate unanimously approved a proposal called the Sunshine Protection Act to make daylight savings permanent. If approved by the House and President Biden, Senator Marco Rubio, the lead sponsor of the proposal, notes that it would not take effect until November 20th of 2023. As conflict between Russia and Ukraine continues, Russian forces have been seen all around in Ukraine's 10th largest city, Mariupol. An art school in Mariupol was sheltering around 400 Ukrainians and has been bombed this Sunday. With no information regarding communication in the building, rescue efforts have been more complicated. Ukrainian President Zelensky is ready to negotiate with Russia to end the war. President Zelensky states that if negotiation fails, it could lead to a third world war.
Rock Hill, the town, was one of the earliest communities in Collin County. Rock Hill Road was officially named in 2009 to honor that history. Now renamed PJA Parkway for the PJA headquarters opening soon, 5 miles away from campus, Kyla Lewis is in studio to tell us more about what the city of Frisco is doing to update this road. Kyla?
Thank you, Bronwyn. Year after year, the city of Frisco tops the list of the fastest growing communities in the nation, 4th this past year. Despite that growth, a near 2-mile stretch of PJA Parkway between Coit and Preston Road still looks like rural county road.
Previously known as Rock Hill Road, PJA Parkway connects eastern and western Collin County. With the extreme amount of growth seen throughout the area, the rutted condition of the road has caught community attention. Between the backup of traffic on the single lanes and safety concerns, the city of Frisco is ready to bring the county road up to community standards.
So So the goal for PGA Parkway is to change this 2-lane asphalt roadway to a 6-lane concrete road. It's going to help support the development, the houses you're seeing along the road, the new high school that Prosper's put up, and also be a major arterial east-west for the residents of Frisco.
The plan for PGA is more than just fixing up the old road. They also plan to build the national PGA headquarters and Omni Resort. The city has taken into account the upcoming construction and has already planned out how they plan to detour traffic and keep everyone safe.
Really, traffic control during construction isn't going to be too bad in this case because we'll be building the 3 new lanes just completely outside of where the existing lanes are. So in our first phase of construction, everybody will just drive the same road they've been on for the last several years. We'll build the 3 new ones, and once those are done, we'll move everybody over to the new lanes and build the rest of the road.
Even with the upcoming construction, Prosper ISD doesn't plan on changing any of their routes. Quote, "We drive over 700,000 miles per year. In a district as large as Prosper ISD, we cover 55 square miles. There are varying conditions of roads that our buses travel every day, and those conditions can change on a daily basis. The best thing that we can do for our amazing drivers is to ensure that they are consistently trained to handle the changing road conditions. We offer many hours of professional development so that our drivers stay up to date on the latest laws and best driving practices. Our bus drivers have 48 to 71 students on a bus at any given time, so our first priority is always safe driving practices, no matter the conditions of the roads we travel."
Construction on PGA Parkway is planned to start this summer 2022 and will be finished in the early part of 2024. Back to you, Bronwyn.
Thank you for that, Kyla. I, for one, am ready for the day when it's not so bumpy on that road. As you'll know in other news, March Madness has begun, and we are now entering the Sweet 16. Connor, what can you tell us about the tournament so far?
I think if we're going to start anywhere, we have to start with 15 seed St. Peter's knocking off 2 seed Kentucky in the first round and then knocking off 7 seed Murray State in the second round. It is the third time ever a 15 seed has made it all the way to the Sweet 16, and it's crazy because it's happened 2 years in a row. Last year we saw Oral Roberts do it, make it all the way to Sweet 16, and now we're seeing St. Peter's make it there. So it's crazy.
I know that game, I'm definitely rooting for them, even though they are going against Purdue, who have going in the championship. Another huge upset we did see was first seed Baylor losing to UNC, who I definitely had going very far in my bracket, but I know you personally had UNC going and winning, so what can you tell us about that game?
Yeah, I definitely liked the matchup with UNC. I definitely thought they matched up well with Baylor, and it was proven, and they actually were dominating most of that game. They were up 25 with 10 minutes left, but when Brady Manick got ejected for UNC, it changed the whole momentum of the game, and Baylor actually built up enough momentum to come back and force overtime, but it was in overtime that Baylor proven to be too tired and too beaten up that UNC did end up taking home that win.
As a Baylor fan, it definitely hurt me and my bracket, but you know, it was still a good game nonetheless and very exciting to watch. Any other games you see coming up?
One game I definitely have my eye on is Iowa State, the 11 seed, versus Miami, the 10 seed. Once again, we're talking about all these upsets. We've got an 11 versus 10 matchup in the Sweet 16, which means one of these two teams has to make it to the Elite 8, which is not a very common occurrence, but we did see it last year. Yeah, like you said, we saw it last year with UCLA, an 11 seed moving on to the Elite 8, and that's just an insane occurrence and just proves that March Madness is just starting to get even crazier. And that makes for more interesting games, but even more brackets to break. Now, speaking of brackets, as many of you know, Rock Hill's hosting a school-wide March Madness bracket. Currently in first place is our very own Kyla Lewis. Kyla still has 14 of her 16 Sweet 16 teams remaining. Remember, for anyone who wants a chance to win the gift card, you must have your name as your bracket title.
I can't wait to see how the rest of our brackets turn out. I know for me personally, I'm still hoping I can come back and win, seeing as I still have all 4 of my Final 4 still intact. Now bringing it back more locally, many of our own sports teams have been in action these past couple of weeks. Connor, can you tell me about everything we've missed?
This past week has been a pretty good week for our sports, starting off with softball. Our girls were able to start off district play with a 10-0 victory against Sherman, then they continued to take on 3 more district wins with a 7-3 victory over the Colony, a 13-1 win against McKinney North, and then they finished off the week with a 10-1 win against Wiley East. Our baseball team was also in action this past week where they took home their first district victory 9-1 last Tuesday against Sherman, and then another victory of 7-1 against the Colony. Track and field was also in action this past weekend. They competed in the Salina Relays meet this past Thursday. Rock Hill saw 8 first-place finishes with Gavin Heckey winning pole vaulting, Maurice Gray finishing first in the triple jump, Jordan Edwards placing first in both the 100 and 300-meter hurdles, Kyla Lewis placing first in the 400-meter hurdles, Nolan Macklin and Kaya Shannon both placed first in the 100-meter dash, and the girls' 4x100-meter relay claimed first as well. Overall, the girls' team placed first overall in the meet. Varsity boys soccer took home multiple wins this past week as well, with victories over Princeton 1-0 and then a 5-1 victory over Lovejoy, which claimed their spot as the district champions. Now, speaking of district champions, girls soccer was also named district champions last week when they defeated Princeton 7-0. On Friday, they faced off against Lovejoy for their final district game. Sadly, though, they did fall 2-0, ending their undefeated season. Rock Hill is still ranked in the top 10 in the state for 5A heading into the playoffs. Now, the girls have seen a ton of success in such a short period of time. Brandon McVeigh looks into how the girls have been able to accomplish so much in just 2 years as a program.
With time comes growth, and the girls' soccer team has come to learn that. After facing many challenges last year and ending the season with an 8-7-8 record, the girls have turned it around this year and found a new path to success.
I think our biggest difference from last season to this season is our attitude and mindset as a team. We all bought in this year to the process. Each day we show up to work hard and improve. We are way closer as a team and with our coach, and that's just overall improvement.
Not only did the team improve mentally, they also have worked tirelessly in the offseason to improve physically as well.
So in our offseason, we talked about being above the line. So everything we did was just better. So when we sprint, can we try to sprint faster? When we're in the weight room, can we try to make our technique look better? Can we learn the vocabulary better? Just anything we did, a better team chemistry. So there's, we talked to them about contribution, hard work, being disciplined, being more mentally tough, physically tough. So all those elements, we wanted our girls to be better at those things, and they wanted to be better at those things.
All of this hard work has paid off and led the Blue Hawks to a 19-0-1 record as well as becoming district champs. With districts wrapped up, the girls now have their eyes set on the playoffs.
Yeah, so our goals for the rest of the season, well, and it's probably what we've done all season, just take it one game at a time, right? When you step back and you're like, whoa, playoffs, and the teams that are in the playoffs and the bracket and what that looks like, it looks like a huge mountain. But once you say, hey, we're going to focus on Friday and focus on Thursday's practice and then get to Friday's performance day, then it becomes a way more manageable.
Girls soccer is now preparing for playoffs and will be starting action in the coming weeks. Now, there are a lot of sports teams in action this next week, so here's a quick preview of all the events this next week. Well, that's all we have for today's show. For Hilltop News, I'm Connor Fuxa.
I'm Bronwyn Liber.
And I'm Ashley Sallaway. Keep rocking, Blue Hawks.